Dear Shua, it feels like just yesterday that Tati and I held you in our arms and said, "This will be our Yeshua Tanchum." I was so proud that I finally would join the large club of having children named for my illustrious grandfather and chassid of the Rebbe, Rabbi Yeshua Tanchum Kastel. A name is an insight to an identity. As the 18th Yeshua Tanchum, your name is particularly special. For your bar mitzvah, we want to give you a gift, the gift of knowing your Zaidy, and through this knowledge, understanding what a meaningful Jewish life could be.
Rabbi Kastel was the whole school. Rabbi Kastel was the one who had to worry about the finance of the school, raising the money. He went through a lot of very difficult time. He did it from serious nefesh. Amazing teacher. But the Rebbe gave him the tafkid of running the yeshiva, so the money.
Rabbi Yeshua Tanchum Kastel was born in Haradok in the province of Minsk in 1913. Soon after he was born, the Soviet Union was founded. Teaching Torah became a crime punishable by prison and sometimes even the death penalty. Most yeshivas closed. Chabad went underground.
Was that, I don't know exactly how old he was, but it was before bar mitzvah, and he wanted to go to yeshiva and his parents wouldn't let him, so he ran away, and his father had to go after him and bring him back. And he promised him at that point that after he grows up a little and after his bar mitzvah, he will find him a yeshiva to go to. And then when that time came, they didn't know where there was a yeshiva because it was all secret. All the underground yeshivas were underground. And then one time they found a newspaper article, and the newspaper article was talking about that there are these...
They were laughing at they're still Chassidish boys that go to the mikveh every day and they come out walking in the streets.
The freezing cold.
With dripping from their bayas and their beards, going to a cheder.
So they were making fun of these boys, but Zaidy and his father, they figured out this has to be a Chassidish yeshiva, otherwise they don't go to the mikveh every day. So they went to that place where the article talked about, and they found, that was Nebel, right?
Yeah, I think so.
After learning there for a few years, Rabbi Kastel came to the United States and got smicha. Rabbi Yisrael Jacobson and Rabbi Avraham Axelrod suggested a shidduch with Goldie Patashnik from Baltimore. Neither of them knew him, but they wrote a letter praising him anyways, and it worked. After he got married, he and Babi Kastel moved to Boston to teach at Maimonides. When a local Lubavitcher yeshiva looked like it would close, he took it over and ran it for many years. Rabbi Soloveitchik told him that if it didn't work out, he could always have his teaching job back. Boston Lubavitch Yeshiva would grow to over 300 students under his leadership. He also worked with college students. Our Yehoshua is following in his footsteps.
So he opened up a minyan in yeshiva, which was a 10-minute walk from my house. But there weren't that many people in that area that were interested in coming because it was an expensive neighborhood, Brookline, much more expensive than Brighton, so most of the Yidden lived over there. So he invited all the college students that were interested in coming to a show on Shabbos. We'll feed you if you come to the shul to daven. So we had college students in Brookline from BU. BU was like 10-minute walk from my house. And we had lots and lots of BU students who used to come for Shabbos.
In that time, he received dozens of letters from the Rebbe. At first it was the previous Rebbe, and then, continuing with our Rebbe, they both had a huge interest in the work that Zaidy did. The Rebbe even called him my chaver in Boston.
The Keshel Bracha by the Rebbe at the end of Yom Tov, I would always make a point of going with Zaidy. Obviously I went with my father, but I would always make a point of, trying to also go with Zaidy, because there was there was a very beautiful relationship between the Rebbe and Zaidy. And the Keshel Bracha, most people, you're moving quickly through the line. There's a long line. A lot of people are going through. But for some reason, it just felt that there was like time stopped. And the Rebbe always, gave Zaidy, something special. And also give Zaidy a bottle of, mashka.
Even though he did so much, he didn't believe it made him special. He believed that any person can accomplish great things.
Zaidy Kastel used to say like this. We used to ask him about yichus, family yichus. Because yichus is a bunch of zeros. And in front of one in front of it, it's a million. You work on being the one. And then we'll talk about the zeros.
Shua, we are so proud that you are named after Zaidy Kastel. Mazel Tov. You should grow up to be a chassid, a Yerushalayim, and a lamdin, just like Zaidy.